What's up, riders? O'l Man Ronin here. Welcome back to the channel. Hey, we're kicking off a new series of videos today called Scenic Rides, where we're going to concentrate and focus on different routes and rides all through Ohio and beyond. We're going to hit some of the better known places, you know, like Triple Nickel, the Windy Nine, Devil's Highway, but we're also going to hit some of the lesser knowns. In fact, we're going to go to the headwaters of 3 today. So join me on the 1200C, the old Garage Queen, and let's have a blast. Yeah, up on the old 1200C today, Garage Queen. I'll tell you, I love this bike. It is so fast and so fun and so nimble, but we've talked about that in other videos before. But what I wanted to start with today is to tell you why I'm doing this Scenic Ride Series. You know, there's not a lot of stuff open, and if you're like me, I just hate going to places that make you wear a mask just to sit down and have a sandwich or a beer or something of that nature. So, you know, I'm going to do what I used to do back in the day when I wasn't drinking. I used to just go for rides. And I think there's a lot of people out there that like the same thing that I do. So I'm going to hit some of the places in East Central Ohio and some of the places beyond Ohio that has some really pretty scenery and country roads that doesn't have all the traffic. And it'll be a lot of fun. I mean, we have so many great roads here in East Central and South Central and Northeast and Southeast Ohio that's just incredible. And I want to share that with you. Whether you live in Ohio or you live in Norway, it doesn't matter to me. I think you're going to appreciate some of the different things and some of the scenic rights that we have. And you know, we don't necessarily have the sunniest of days to do this in, but this is the introduction video anyways. So I'm going to take you to the headwaters of a couple different places, or a couple different routes I should say, here in a little county called Licking, just east of Columbus. And I think you're going to appreciate it. We're going to intermix them. We're not going to do the same series every day. In other words, we'll do maybe a Pathfinder today. There's 5 different Pathfinder routes, and they're all, like I say, between 20 and 40 miles long. And they range all just in Licking County, which is a small little county, like I mentioned before, on the east side of Columbus. But it's a lot of fun, and it's a really cool opportunity to see what's around close to Columbus. Is that where you live? Well, like I said, if you live in Norway, it'll just give you some entertainment value of riding Harley Davidson or Royal Enfields on these different places in Ohio, which make it maybe a destination for you, because we have some really great roads. Now, is it going to be mountainous like the Tail of the Dragon down Tennessee, Kentucky, and that area? No, or North Carolina. No, it's not going to be like that. But it's going to be really cool back roads, kind of like what I'm on right here, with nice little twisties that you can take as whatever your ability will let you. And you know, just have some fun and get out of the house. I mean, you know, we've been quarantined now for how many months? It's ridiculous. But you can put your helmet on, be socially responsible, and get on some of these great roads, even in your area. Find some of the less known roads and go out and have some fun. I mean, this little road I'm on right here, believe it or not, is not too far from Newark, Ohio, and it's just a cute little windy road. You have to be aware. I mean, there's deer and there's cars pulling out, but if you just know your limitations and just want to have a good time and not be a speed demon, these roads are perfect for that. And that's one of the reasons why I want to show you these in this kickoff series. This bike is so much fun to ride. I'll tell you, you know, it's kind of funny. I say that about every bike I'm on, don't I? But it's the truth. They are a lot of fun. And if you have a bike, or if you don't have a bike, you know, Adam Sandoval has a good saying: just buy the damn motorcycle. Because I mean, that's really, there is no more individual fun that you can have, or with one person, than on a motorcycle. I mean, it's just a blast. You get the fresh air, you get all the sights and smells. You know, you get out of the city and enjoy some of these backcountry roads, see some beautiful scenery, wildlife. like I said, when we start the actual series next week, and when we hit different places, you'll see some really interesting, well, I shouldn't say next week, if the weather permits, obviously. It's not going to be much fun if you just have raindrops splashing all over the front of your camera. But if it's good weather, then we're going to hit all these different places around the area. And like I said, I'm not sure if it's going to be weekly or bi-weekly or whatever, but we're going to do it as often as we can. And in anticipation, like I said, we're going to ride different bikes. We've got 5 motorcycles to choose from, so it might be a different route on a different motorcycle on a different day, or it may be the same motorcycle on a different route on a different day. Regardless, it's going to be a lot of fun, and I think you're going to really enjoy it. Jesus, scared the living shit out of me. Have to cut that part out, which I very seldom do I? You guys have seen this area before. I like riding it to get to my destinations. It's not really close to where I live, but I'd like to see how the bike's running before I start doing any filming, and so I usually ride about 10 or 15 miles to get to different locations and go from there. What a beautiful, this side of the Ohio is beautiful. What the hell's going on over there? Beautiful. What? Beautiful. What? Yeah, I'm telling you. If you don't like the weather in Ohio, wait 5 minutes. I think they say that about every region, but it's kind of really true here. We've got some rain. Looks like it's moving in, so we're going to do this video fairly fast, and that way you guys can see some of the stuff that's coming about. So, this bike sounds so freaking good. And the smells, not necessarily that good smell. Yeah, this bike likes to go. Not sure how the wind noise is in the lane splitter today. Hopefully not too bad. We are doing over 65 mile an hour. Oops. Did I just break the law? I've put the Garage Queen on auto tune, so you might hear a pop or a crack. I haven't had it on auto tune for the last couple weeks, and I wanted to see if there's any more definition out of performance I could get with it. So I stuck her back on auto tune. I'll show you how to do that here in an episode coming up. Yeah, I think I'll do that maybe in the next week or two. Be good content, right? Setting up your Fuelpak 3, because I know a lot of you folks out there are running them. There's always people crossing in front of you on this turn, which would be a lot of fun if that wasn't the case. Beautiful here, though. I mean, we're actually on part of one of the Pathfinder trails right now, and we'll come back to it later, but I just wanted to show you the headwaters of 3 of them. One of the coolest things about Ohio is you get a lot of history, a lot of wildlife, a lot of farmland, all wrapped up into one. I mean, it's really beautiful here. And my family's been in Ohio since the early 1700s. In fact, up in Tuscarawas County, the line of Stark and Tuscarawas County is our second homestead. And I say second because the original one burned down in 1824, and then it was rebuilt. So in fact, it's still standing, and it's an old log cabin. We literally just got indoor plumbing in the place in the 1970s. So my Aunt Betty lived there for years and years and years after my grandma passed away. And it's really just, like I say, a lot of blood, sweat, and tears from our family in Ohio. The original homestead was built in the 1700s, obviously, but like I say, it burnt down in 1824, and like I said, they rebuilt it. They had thousands of acres. In fact, they used to supply the food for the only Revolutionary War fort, the most western one, in the United States at the time, which was Fort Lawrence in Bolivar, Ohio, just outside of Bolivar. So there's a little history for you, and we'll probably go up that way and show you some of that interesting things. Some of the streets up there are named after our family, so really fun, really exciting. This 21-inch tire in the front really cuts into the corners. I really enjoy it. Nice and thin, nimble. Same size tire that's on the Royal Enfield, albeit a different tread design. But at the thumbnails of all of the videos we're going to do in this series, I'm going to give you a hint of what kind of motorcycle we're going to ride. Like today we're riding a Harley Davidson 1200C in 2009, and this bike only has 5,000 miles on it. I think if you heard or read or watched any of my videos before, you'll see how it really had virtually no miles on it, but the kid that had it rode it on the beach and then let it sit up without doing anything to it for 8 years, and I was able to pick it up really dirt cheap. I had to rebuild everything. I took it down to the frame, rewired it, rebuilt the engine, made it a 1250, got parts here and there, repainted it. It's hard to tell, but this color here, this black, I have a really good friend that does painting for me, and we made it a Mercedes black, and we took off that goofy looking strip down the center because it served no purpose. You know, on my Road King and my Deluxe, it has a purpose because it's the seam that covers up where the tank sides were joined together. I mean, they're all one tank now, but back in the old days, it used to be two separate tanks. One was oil and one was gas. And the oil, it was a lost oil system that it would just burn through the exhaust. Now it's two sides, but it still maintains that pretty look. But on a 1200 Sportster, I just don't think it looks good, so I took it off, put a flush mounted cap, chrome, because it is definitely a garage queen. A lot of chrome on this thing. Minimalist chrome though, as far as everything is black and chrome. No fancy paint as far as the other than the color. No glitter, no flames. I'm not really that kind of guy. I like the minimalist look with flash. Boy, this bike is fun to ride. So we're just averaging 60 miles an hour here. If you ever want to watch or know, I mean, a lot of people won't tell you, but this is 120 mile an hour speedometer, and right in the center is 60. So the Royal Enfield is 50. Pretty road, man. This is actually Route 79 coming out of Newark and heading towards let's see, where does it actually go to? I gotta think about that for a second. Not sure where the end result is. However, this part of it from Newark north is just absolutely beautiful. One of my favorite roads on the east side of Columbus is Route 79. It doesn't have a whole lot of twisties, but it's nice and easy, and it's beautiful farmland, beautiful wood area. Just awesome. Which is what I love to do. Hopefully you love it too. If you do, put it in the comments. I'd like to hear your responses. And if you do live in Ohio, have you ever been on Route 79? And is it one of your favorite roads? You know, again, it's not the Triple Nickel, it's not the Devil's Highway, it's not the Windy Nine, but it is a fun road that doesn't get a whole lot of traffic, but has some beautiful scenery, and you know, not very technical, but it still gives you the ability to, you know, lean down into some of the corners and have a good time. I usually take this road up north to towards Route 62, and I do know it crosses up there. There's another one called 541 that it crosses, and there's some wineries up there that I like to go to occasionally. There's that pretty little pond. looks like we got some sun now. Getting away from Columbus, everything's better. Literally. It's not that I don't like Columbus. Columbus has been really good to me as far as my food truck. I just don't love cities. I mean, I'd like to go visit them and then get out. I think a lot of people in the rural who grew up in the country feel the same way. So you're going to see here, this is a turn for one of the Pathfinder routes. But we're not going there. We're going somewhere else. Road. I think we may do the same thing we did the last time we were down here. Take a picture by the arch tunnel or bridge or whatever you want to call it, because it's really for a railroad. It goes underneath the railroad. So yeah, let's do it. Well, that was fun. I do love that bridge. It's or tunnel, whatever you want to call it. It's reminds me of the railroad days. Might as well do like I do. But you got to do the Brap Star in here. That's fun. I think that's louder than a horn anyway. Yeah. Like I promised you, this is the beginning of the Pathfinder route, so we're going to take a quick picture. See you in a minute. You know, it's kind of cool that there's 3 of them here. The Hidden Legends, the Foothills, and then the Buckeye Frontier. Yeah. It's going to be fun doing each and every one of the routes and highlighting them, let alone, like I say, the Windy 9 and some of the other routes as well, too. I really hope you enjoyed this video. I'll tell you what, it's a lot of fun doing this new series, Scenic Rides. And I think it's going to be full of a lot of information and a lot of entertainment. And I really hope you enjoy it as much as I'm going to enjoy making it. So until next time, make sure you give us a big thumbs up, like, subscribe, hit the bell notifications, share, and comment. Like I always say, I read all the comments and comment on all the comments. And until next time, ride safe and keep her on 2 wheels, baby.